This season started with zero expectations and ended with less actions that we actually hope. But what really happened from the day one to the final days of this season? Let me walk you through the real story of a season that can be actually an epic one. If you enjoy honest takes and war recaps in Call of Dragons, don't forget to hit one like and subscribe for more war stories, and drop a comment. What was your experience with your season? Let's go all the way back to the beginning and when we actually start. Now we start with same zone with the war. This is one other alliance that also have pretty decent amount of power. I think they have like 10 billion power. They boost some power with the time. But actually we end up with 2 kingdoms in one zone. It's absolutely same for rest of the zones. There is always 2 kingdoms in every zone. So in total we're like 8 kingdoms. And the first thing, of course, we didn't have that much expectation at the beginning, since we collect all the players we are looking to get, and we end up with like a huge well in this kingdom. But the suggestion that we actually get was maybe to fight against everybody. And yeah, this is the beginning. The beginning was just BTX and war in same zone. I was expecting 8-way, but they didn't actually come in our KVK. But still, there was a pretty decent kingdoms. Some of them, like NN and free-to-play, have decent amount of power. They're like over 20 billion power. They're like 6 million power less from us, and this is definitely make the difference. But still, they was having a decent amount of power. But right when the gates opened, something fell off, and that was when we go for the Thunder Rock. The first fight we actually have was against NN for the Thunder Rock, basically these 2 chickens. So I was expecting non-stop fighting. There was a lot of ideas how we can actually proceed. Just to mention, this is a gate 1, so the real PvP it actually start after the gate 2 open. And there was a lot of ideas how this zone should be treated. Should we actually go all in and basically stop immediately NN from building? There was basically a lot of ideas. So we end up we're going to go all in. And honestly, we didn't actually face a lot of resistance. And here is the thing. When somebody is tough playing in front of your gate, which is basically at the other corner of the map, we're basically building here and they're here, we can stop play, but everything you kill there, you cannot reinforce it. So I was expected everything to be cleared very fast. We was basically sitting around this bridge. This is a choke point, so you know we get advantage over the choke points. And for my surprise, we end up actually waiting for so long something to happen. There was some fights here and there, but we was blocking this bridge. So NN didn't actually kill everything. They was slowly building in our direction. And this is a normal tactic. I mean, you just go and start building, you protect your builders, you just don't send everything you have in the direction of more strong alliance, and basically everything stop around this bridge. Now, right now there's maybe a couple towers from NN and free-to-play. They actually jump in other alliances. I was expecting NN and free-to-play to be these alliances there, but they actually enter with the sub alliance. For my surprise is nobody was knowing, are they going to fight or are they not going to fight? So yeah, basically everything here finished for maybe 1 day and a half till we even leave this territory here for NN. Right now we actually have some towers built, but we leave this territory, so if they want to teleport and fight, to have at least like 3-4 towers and place where they can actually teleport. So what do you do when there is nobody ready to fight? And we was actually ready, but I'm not quite sure NN actually put a lot of effort fighting. Now I know I'm going to get in the comments, but NN is way more weak and blah blah blah. This is true. My previous couple seasons, I was always on the weak side. I end up like this. But there was always a fight, at least for the merits, at least to empty the shop. And at one point actually end up to be only for the merits shop from some players. Some was doing some merits trades, other just sent cavalry to kill some FK legions around the map. But that was our fight with NN basically in the zone. I can say maybe this is a zone 2 for the Thunder Rocks. Everything finished extremely fast. we stopped them with the building speed, and we built still the Thunder Rock, and I'm not so sure, but I think they didn't even cross this bridge in general in this zone. So from there we actually saw that NN don't have that much power, but you know, if there is no enemy, why not basically fight against everybody? That was the plan in the minds, I think, of my leadership. So we decide to go against everybody. I think this decision was actually make it before everything happened, before the gate 2 opened, and I think even gate 1 was not actually opened. So we decide to fight against everybody, and I think this is fair. I mean, at one point we are very big alliance there. In same time we have war that is smaller alliance, and there is other 6 kingdoms. So we was planning to play two kingdoms against 6 kingdoms. And again, and free to play, people are thinking they're like tier 3 or tier 4, this 20 plus billion power kingdom. So we was expecting, at least I was expecting a hard season. And that was a decision that the leadership make, and I was not so sure because I was thinking it's going to be hard, you know, 6 kingdoms. We are bigger one, but in same time they have a kingdom that is close to be a rival, maybe with 4 million, 5 million power less. Okay, this is not so close to be a rival, but with decent amount of power. And from first look, this one sounds crazy, but was it actually a risky one? For me personally, I think it was actually a risky one, because from the season 1 we all know strange in the numbers. So if you are facing against 2 times more opponents, they have 3 times more hospitals, even though that tier 4, but in the same time they're going to have 3 times more troops on the battlefield. Let's say 2 times, but again 3 times more hospital. And in these days, free healing is the main power of every fight. Of course, there is people who spend over the resources, but there is not that many. Whales don't need that much resource healing, especially when they have like 2 million free healing every day. 2 million free healing every day. This is like 50% from my total troops count. And I have to put them in hospital, and tomorrow I'm going to have the same amount of troops. So the free healing is something that actually bothered me a lot. I was not so sure, hey, are we going to beat them? Yo, bro, are we going to beat them? So I was having some question in my head, especially for this going against everybody. But at one point I was like, okay, we're going to fight against everybody. I end up in a lot of situation when we fight against everybody. When, for example, I was in ACDC with BDO in alliance, Echo and Nova Avengers separate us, and we fight against Echo and Nova Avengers, basically everybody. In the previous season, when we was like 88 people, we fight against everybody after the betrayal of the Cove. So I have pretty decent experience with fighting against everybody. So I was like, why not? It's going to be funny. And here is the thing. If you're from the weak side, you know, you're dictating where the fight is going to happen. So in comfortable for your time, you can actually attack or basically go out from the gate. I think this is a pretty decent advantage. Some people are looking on to be on the weak side, something like, oh, this is bad, what we're going to do. What we're going to do, we're going to dictate what is going to happen on the battlefield. We're not going to get the rewards, but when we want to fight, the fight will happen. But what happened when the enemy cannot unite? Now this is the thing that actually came to my mind later in the process, is this is 6 kingdoms. Now it's extremely hard to actually put like 4 alliances to work together. Imagine 6 kingdoms. So I was knowing it's going to be extremely difficult, the diplomacy, because you know, every leadership, the people inside is like, I'm the leader, you know. too much leaders, and this most of the times end up badly. And this is what I think happened actually this season. Just I think the alliances like SWNS, KRM, MM, and then free to play, all these alliances, all these kingdoms didn't actually find a way to somehow unite it. So I was having the fear we're going to fight against 3 times more people, but in the same time I was having something in my mind, maybe they're not the history showed that diplomacy is extremely hard when there is so many alliances there. And I was like 80% sure that something is going to happen there. Something is going to happen. It's going to be extremely hard for these people to somehow unite. And I was for my, how to say it, I was hoping I'm not going to be right, but I end up to be right. And the coordination, the unions between our opponents didn't actually happen. Some alliance can be in the different time zone. For example, you know, one alliance is Asian, one is from Europe, one is from US, and the coordination, I guess just the coordination actually happened very, very hard. And I don't know how the diplomacy go there. I have no idea how the diplomacy go between these two alliances. I was expecting one more, or at least from these 6 kingdoms, 4 kingdoms at least to somehow unite and actually fight against us. This is going to be, you know, two times more kingdoms against us, but in same time, you know, we're here for the fun. Here is the thing: people are saying somebody is looking for easy win. Easy win. Imagine a whale to look for a farming season and easy win. Why this person is going to spend his money to boost himself just to get no fun season easy wins? I don't think anybody actually are looking for this. It's not only from the BTX side, but any respecting himself well or active well. Let's use the word active well. I'm not going to sit and just get the rewards. I don't think this thing actually exists. The most dangerous creature is Bored well. But still, all the hopes was for the final zone, and even when fights happen, something was actually missing. Now, when the final zone opened, of course, every zone have access to the final zone. This is very important. There is nothing like they cut this alliance and this alliance is not going to enter in the final zone. Everybody have their opportunity to enter in the final zone. So when the final zone gate open, actually we start having pretty decent pressure. But this pressure was basically for less of a day. And after this, after the first push, the thing slowed down like 50%. By 50%, I mean 50% less people show on the battlefield. And on the day 2, there was basically nobody there. We even left free-to-play and NN. Look at this thing. They can anytime teleport at this zone. This is free-to-play and NN zone. And try to fight with us for the dragon or something like this. But yeah, from time to time somebody teleport there so they can actually do some farm killing, some you know, I actually don't see my farms get killed from the NN, but from time to time they actually teleport here and have small fights here and there. But in general we leave some territory so they can also join and at least get some fun. There was a point where we split on 2 teams, our alliance, with building some alliance fortress, and whoever defeat the enemy alliance fortress win the competition. It was something between us because, yeah, this season was whacking by a lot from some action and some fights. So how do I really feel about this season? Well, I didn't actually have this type of seasons from long time. I think for my 2 years experience in Call of Dragons, you know, I was in the different alliances, but mostly I was in the top alliances, or at least the most strong alliances present in Call of Dragons most of the times. Or I was in sub-alliance of this type of alliance. This is maybe one of the most boring season that I actually go. So, you know, just deciding to talk about this season. Maybe this is going to be the last video, but I don't feel this season something like I'm not even going to get the 12 million shard. Every season I was getting the 12 million shard. This season I'm not going to even hit 2 million merits. Look at this thing. The last season I was for sure over 12 million merits, where we was like 88 people. Right now we're in our power, but there is just no merits in general. So this is our story from the day 1 to the final days this season. What about yours? Drop a comment for your season highlights or disappointments. And don't forget to hit one like, subscribe, and turn this bell notification so you don't miss any war video, guide, or any Call of Dragons content that I'm going to present on my channel. And let's hope the next season finally brings some fire for us. See you in the next video.